welcome to another episode of Getting Old Ain't for Sissies with your host, Tomm Rivers.
Hey!
Tomm's paid his dues in the radio business doing morning shows, maybe in your town. Tomm's 47-year career took him places like Milwaukee, Kansas City, Indianapolis, Chicago, Albuquerque, Sacramento, Cincinnati, San Antonio, and a few places I can't mention for legal reasons.
No.
Well, he's moved around. I think in the business we call them floaters.
Lies.
And now, boys and girls, the man in his 7th decade of life, the old hipster himself, my good friend, Tomm Rivers.
Hey, Doug Dahlgren, thank you very much. What a wonderful, wonderful man he is. Folks, Doug has what we call in the business the Midas touch. Everything he touches turns into a muffler. Lousy joke. Welcome, folks, to episode 32 of G.O.A.F.S. Yes, I'm Tomm Rivers. If you remember our last episode, we talked about, hey, do you know anyone who's wanted by the cops? Want a big-time pay raise? Reinvent yourself. And ladies, how tight are your jeans? Plus a lot of other great stuff in store for you today on episode 32 of G.O.A.F.S. And I'm your lovely host, Carol Merrill. No, I'm Tomm Rivers. How are you, folks? I've been working on a math problem since we've last talked, and I've solved it. In dog years, I'm dead. I have to do one of those every now and then because I crack myself up. All right, here's your health tip of the day. This is a good one. Michael J. Fox, Neil Diamond, and George H.W. Bush, some of America's most beloved folks, all suffer from Parkinson's disease. Some of the signs of diagnosing Parkinson's that you should be aware of for yourself and maybe someone you love are these 6 top diagnosing Parkinson's signs. Tremors, fingers, foot, part of the jaw or face, shake while you're at rest, could be an early sign of Parkinson's. Changes in your handwriting. Folks with Parkinson's, actually your handwriting becomes smaller. Number 3, rigid limbs. Stiffness in the arms and legs is another sign. Just like tremors, rigidity often starts on one side of the body before it progresses to the other. You better take note of that. If you start to shuffle or not swing one of your arms as you walk, better let your doctor know right away. The loss of smell. Maybe you don't notice the fragrance of, your lovely lady's perfume or a bouquet of flowers or last week's leftovers in the fridge. What gives, huh? That's a sign. A change in voice. 78% of folks with Parkinson's disease have some kind of voice impairment. Sometimes softer, sometimes rougher in tone, monotone, or a vocal tremor. And something called masking, number 6. A person with Parkinson's may sometimes appear to have their game face on, or they look serious or depressed or have a blank stare, sometimes even hardly blinking. Better not panic, though. Don't panic. Okay, these are just some signs, the top 6 signs. If you have questions, talk to your doctor, okay, because there's a lot more to Parkinson's disease than just those top 6 signs. Attention. Attention, anyone. Attention. Do you know anyone who's committing a crime or wanted by the cops? If you ever ask an undercover cop if he's a policeman, he's supposed to tell you, right? You think? Huh? Depending on his answer, whether you should or shouldn't do something illegal in front of them. Well, it's a Hollywood myth. Oh, myth? American undercover police do not, I repeat, do not have to identify themselves as cops. So be careful. That's from informationisbeautiful.net. Wow. I didn't know that. That's good to know. Also, see if you know someone who fits this MO. Do you turn on the AC when it gets hot in the house? Most people do. Well, not everyone does. 1 in 3 folks say that on a hot day, they walk around the house in their undies rather than spend money just to cool down the house. And you know where that came from? The Lennox folks who make air conditioners. They ought to know. We talked about last time on our last episode, reinventing yourself. Some goofy-ass title. Give yourself a title. Well, somebody did. They became a professional hugger. Human beings often come up with these wild ideas and make money at it. An Australian mother has become a cuddle therapist and makes over $60,000 a year hugging people. She claims that her hugs can help those who are suffering from loneliness, depression, or low self-confidence. Can you believe that? Hello, I'm a professional hugger. Please, my hands on your butt are there just to make you feel better. Yeah, right. They're making me feel pretty good, too. Oh, man, what people won't do. Well, here's another dumbass story. If you wear skinny jeans, you may want to change your style. Oh, another Australian woman wearing skinny jeans collapsed and had to spend 4 days in the hospital after her too tight pants cut off the blood supply to her legs. The woman had to be cut out of her jeans and then spent 4 days on an intravenous drip recovering. Happily, she made a full recovery and is presumably wearing mom jeans now. This from the Journal of Neurology, Neurosurgery, and Psychiatry. I bet she looked good, but what a dumbass. I mean, really, come on. Hey, I guess this applies to anyone at any age. Really, if you're planning a second, third, or fourth marriage and you want to save some money, consider getting married in Las Vegas. Really. New figures show that weddings now cost on the average from anywhere starting at $25 to $450. Viva Las Vegas! Yeah! Hey, guess what's starting up? Football! You gotta make your plans for football. Want to make sure there's plenty of groceries in the house. If your weekend plans involve a trip to the grocery store, you might want to rethink that. Plan your supermarket trips for weekdays, folks. Not only will it be less crowded than on weekends, you'll pay less, too. Is that a commercial for Payless? That's a shoe store, isn't it? I think. I don't know. Research reveals that grocery prices are lowest from Monday to Friday, and then shoot back up on Saturday and Sunday. That's how they screw us. That's when stores know they're going to be flooded with customers, so they try to maximize profit. That's from Woman's World magazine. Speaking of football, nothing marks the start of the NFL season as much as a tailgate party. Tailgaters are overwhelmingly male, with guys making up to 79% of the group. I don't know if they're overwhelmingly male, coming from the Midwest, spending time in both Chicago and Milwaukee. If you've seen some of the female Bear fans and female Packer fans, they kind of look like guys, some of them. Let's see, ever push the closed door in an elevator? You're wasting your time. It doesn't work. According to an elevator industry spokesperson, the riding public will not be able to make the doors close any faster using that button. Pressing the button will do absolutely nothing. It's only there for firefighters and emergency personnel and maintenance people who can override the delay with a key or a code. Here's another stupid elevator story. Back in the 70s, when I was working in radio in Atlanta, radio station, it was an AM station back then, WQXI, back when radio was fun, I noticed the Otis elevator building was only Swear to God, 2 stories high. Why? Why? Why do they do that? Otis Elevator, right there. The entire building, 2 stories. Have you ever wondered why drivers always slow to look at an accident? Blame our ancient brain, a section responsible for survival. Its function is to constantly scan the environment, posing and answering 3 questions. Can I eat that? Can I have sex with that? Can I be killed by that? I ask those 3 questions pretty much to this day, every morning. Food, sex, and danger are still the things that are fundamental to our staying alive, so we can't help but pay attention to them. That's from brightside.me. Sounds like a real sweet website. Speaking of doing things that are fun, psychologists and sociologists have come up with something called the Dunbar's number, the maximum number of people you can maintain close ties with. So even if you have thousands of friends on Facebook, you can only have meaningful communication with about 50 of them. How many can you unfriend with a happy face? Huh? Start unfriending people today. I mean, according to this, why have 500 friends when only 50 of them are what you need? I love stuff like that. Speaking of percentages, you know what you will do less than 0.5% during your entire lifetime? Have sex. The average human will spend 0.45% of his or her life having sex. Your whole life, or around 117 days in total. Reebok, the shoe folks, did a survey, and that's what they came up with. I say, what a shame. There's a lot of nice specimens out there, female between 18 and 28. It's a nice spread. If you were a bookie. Woo-hoo. Finally, this is my favorite headline I think of all time. I swear this is true. A Washington man, Washington State, sexually assaults an injured beaver as woman tries to save it. That's the headline. That's from Newsweek magazine. I would never, I assure you, never assault someone's injured beaver. That's all for now, folks. You have yourself a wonderful weekend. We're going to be back on, next week. Right here on G.O.A.F.S. Yay! Episode 33. Next week. I'm Tomm Rivers. Have a good one. Bye!
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Plywood in the Pines Apartments, the exciting new all-adult apartment complex for single persons who have no children, pets, or felony convictions within the past 30 days.
Hi, folks. Thanks for listening to the old hipster Tomm Rivers and Getting Old Ain't for Sissies. Tom focuses on things you may not find on the radio when it comes to the aging process. Tuesday and Thursday nights, 7 p.m. Central. Tom's lived it, so he knows what to pass on to you, like relationship advice for those over 60, how to get a good night's sleep, treat your body better by eating better, how to be happy again, and how to avoid stress. Plus, every now and then, Tom will touch on some touchy items in the news. Tom's Getting Old Ain't for Sissies can be found on Spotify, SoundCloud, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, Google+, and Tom's personal Facebook page. Please remember, on any of those media platforms, please click either like or favorite, so Tom gets credit for his work. Thanks again. In Chicago, I'm Doug Dahlgren. Thanks for coming, and good night.